minutes of your day, the Wednesday Homer Hour, because we have Jason Wilde, we have Tim Van Born, and we lead with Rain Man. 1-800-990-3776. 1-800-990-3776. Caller number 5. Caller 5, you will be our contestant for Rain Man. Continue to discuss the baseball playoffs. Brewers have some time off. Continue to discuss the Green Bay Packers. What's weird is it's a bye week, so we have this week an additional time in which to talk about the Packers. 1-800-990-3776. I am on location tonight. You can. People always try to wonder where I am. I am at a fundraiser. Bobby's Bar has a fundraiser for children's charities, and I am participating in that and did participate. That does not tell you where I am, because it's important to me that everybody realizes that no one cares where you are. All they care is that you're talking and whatever it is you're saying. Oh, I didn't like what you said, but I did like where you were. No, I never heard that once. All right, 1-800-990-3776. Pebble will have to help me out if we have a contestant. This is our Rain Man competition. We have 3 people, I believe, tied at 7. He'll give me the update on that.
Yep.
I think I'm right on that.
Mike and Franklin Homer, and we have a 3-way tie like you mentioned up atop the Rain Man leaderboard. We have Matt and Tosa, we have Nick and Sussex, and we have Joe and Milwaukee all tied with 7.
So Mike and Franklin will be our contestant this evening. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
All right. Rain Man is brought to you by Cousin Subs. They're so nice that even if he stinks, in fact, even if he doesn't get any right, which he'll try to do better than that. I'm pretty comfortable with that. He gets a $25 gift card from Cousin Subs. And if he would win the competition, which will run until the end of the year, he would then win Cousin Subs for a year, and that's worth about $300. So thanks to Cousin Subs. They're a great partner. And our other partner is Saganiac Planning. They have been a partner for many years, and they are a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service until I discovered that I was not doing them justice, because they are a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service, Saganiac Planning, and they've been doing it well for over 50 years. Local company doing it well for over 50 years, and that would explain how they can be so good and so knowledgeable about something that can be complicated, employee benefits, and that. So, Saganiac Planning is now, appropriately, a name synonymous with employee benefits, top-notch service, and doing it well over 50 years, and still a phone number you can remember, because all you got to remember is 783. Saganiac Planning. Give them a call, 262-783. Roger Maris, 6161.
That number again, 262-783-6161.
Thought at some point it'll be something other than Roger Maris, because Roger Maris did this in 1961, and some people may not know that because you might not even have been born by then. And unfortunately, it's still Roger Maris for 6161. Jason Woolley will be on in a little bit, and then Tim Van Born as well. Joining us now is Mike in Franklin. And Mike, this is the Rain Man competition, and I am curious about only one thing. What is your Rain Man resume, past history in this competition?
I've never played at Homer, so I have no idea. Nothing. I have nothing.
Whoa. But you have observed, right?
Oh,
You've listened.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. So you know what it takes.
I do, but hopefully we'll see how I do.
All right, we'll see how you do. The first question will be the Saganiac Planning Marquette trivia question. They are great supporters of Marquette. So the first question has to be about Marquette in honor of Saganiac Planning. Pebble, I don't give people help because they don't listen to me. Is there anything you would like to add to help?
The same thing
Mike?
I tell all our contestants, Homer. You got 15 questions. You got 2 minutes. If you don't know an answer, say skip or pass. Homer will come back to it. The goal is to get through all 15 questions within the 2 minutes.
You ready to go?
Yes.
Mike and Franklin. The first question, again, is the Saganiac Planning Marquette trivia question. 3, 2, 1, go. The only Marquette player to score 40 points and a half.
Bo Ellis.
Incorrect. Bill Russell, 13 NBA seasons. How many NBA titles?
10.
Incorrect. LeBron James, 22 NBA seasons. How many titles?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Correct. Best NBA career three-point field goal shooter, 45.4%.
Pass.
NBA career leader, averaged 30.12 points per game for his career.
Michael Jordan.
Correct. Second NBA career, he averaged 30.07 points per game.
Kobe Bryant.
Incorrect. He hit the most home runs this season in Major League Baseball.
Shohei Ohtani.
Incorrect. How many did he hit? Still have a chance for the number. Most home runs anybody hit this season. Incorrect.
55.
The most intentionally walked. He was intentionally walked 36 times this season. Name him.
The kid for the Brewers.
Incorrect. Incorrect. He leads the NFL 1,119 yards passing.
This year?
Yes. Yep.
I'd pass.
Yes. Before the Dallas game, the Packers were number one in the league in points given up per game. What are they ranked now?
Number 4.
Incorrect. Who has a higher quarterback rating this season? Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love?
Rodgers.
Incorrect. Who is the only NFL running back with 3 fumbles?
The guy who plays for Baltimore. I'm losing his name. The guy. I'm losing his name. The big guy from Baltimore.
All right. He leads the NFL 503 yards receiving.
I have no idea.
Name an NFL wide receiver with more touchdowns than Romeo Doubs.
No one.
All right. I have you down for 2. Pebble, what do you
I
have?
have 2 as well.
All right.
That's pretty bad.
I would say it was just bad. But we'll see. It's based on how many Pebble gets right as to should you have known them. We'll see. Some I'm disappointed because if you listen to the show and or Rain Man, you would know this, but we'll see. Only Marquette player to ever score 40 points and a half.
Marcus Howard.
Correct. Most amazing thing any Marquette player has ever done. Shaka Smart said no. Dwayne Wade had a triple-double in the NCAA tournament. I said yes, that would be more important in terms of the importance, but 40 points and a half, most amazing thing ever done. Bill Russell, 13 NBA seasons. How many titles, Pebble? Tell
11
him.
titles.
That's correct. You had LeBron James. He's got 4 and 22. Best NBA career three-point field goal shooter, 45.4%.
Steve Kerr.
Correct. NBA career leader, 30.12 points per game. Michael Jordan, who is second at 30.07.
Will Chamberlain.
That is correct. He hit the most home runs this season in Major League Baseball.
Big dumper, Cal Raleigh.
Big butt. Cal Raleigh, yes. And how many did he hit?
60.
That he did. He was intentionally walked 36 times this season. The most. Name the player.
Aaron Judge.
Correct. He leads the NFL, 1,119 yards passing. Name the quarterback.
Dak Prescott.
That's correct. Listen closely on this one. I hope I have it right. Pebble might have to check. Before the Dallas game, the Packers were number one in the league in points given up. What are they ranked now?
I think they're still number 1, right?
They are 13th.
13th? Okay.
Look that up. Make sure I got that right. Because that feels like, I know I did. Who has a higher quarterback rating so far this season, Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love?
Rodgers.
Nope. Jordan Love, 113. Aaron Rodgers, 102.6. He's the only NFL running back with 3 fumbles. Our contestant, Mike, did everything but give us his name.
The big guy from Baltimore, Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, correct. He leads the NFL 500. Yeah, that one you should have got. But I wanted to give it to you, but Pebble would have complained. He leads the NFL 503 yards receiving.
Puka Nacua.
Yes, isn't that amazing? And name an NFL wide receiver with more receiving touchdowns than Romeo Doubs. He has 4. There are only 2 with more.
I think one of them's Roma Dunze from the Bears, and I think the other one's
That is correct. He has 5. Yep, you named the 2. All right, so Pebble, you, as usual, did great. Mike and Franklin, now with 2 after the performance by Pebble. How do you feel about your performance?
I think I suck.
All right.
But you still get
For the first time.
gift card to Cousin Subs.
But Pebble,
all right,
given
so-
that it was his first time, and now, Mike, help people out who are going to try it in their first time. What was more difficult than you thought? Like when you're just doing it on your own, you have answers, and then when you're on the radio, you don't come up with them as quickly, or what? What did you learn?
I really think it's the questions that you ask. You know, if either you know it or you don't, and you got to pass. A couple, I kind of hesitate. You got to pass right away.
All right, and I would say it's possible that you'll think of the answer somewhere down the line, and you can say, "Oh, that back." But we tell everybody to do that, but nobody listens. You would say it's good advice that we're giving people.
Yeah, I think so. And I was going to say Prescott. There was enough time to come around, but and I was going to say Steph Curry for the 3-pointer, but that would have been wrong anyhow. So
that it would have been. Now, I do want Pebble to check because you can go to NFL Stats. Defense.
Yeah,
it's at ESPN.
Yeah, they are 13th. 21 points a game given up.
Think of this. Yeah. The Packers went from first to 13th in one game. That's what will happen when you give up 40 points. Not so good. All right, Mike, appreciate it. Thanks for playing.
Oh, hey, guys, real quick. Just so you know, the Packers are still going to be in the Super Bowl. Just so you know.
That's fine. I think that position is reasonable. However, Mike, I do have one question for you. Because I think you could say that, especially if you believe, as I stated, that the defense is going to be much better because you know Micah Parsons is going to be better than he's been so far in terms of his influence. But how do you state that with confidence, having just watched the defense be so horrific? How can a team be good enough to make the Super Bowl and be bad enough as they played against Dallas? That's a question, and I'm curious to your answer.
Well, I think what happened there is because Micah Parsons went back, the rest of the guys they should have been more fired up. They just took a break because the first 3 games, their defense was lights out.
Yes.
And so this last game wasn't so good, but I think they're going to bounce back against Cincinnati in the rest of the year. I think they're going to do pretty good.
Okay. But if you're that good, isn't it hard to not, like, how much do you have to not care? Like you say they weren't fired up. If you're that good, even when you don't care, shouldn't you be better than they were?
Well, I think they learned from the defensive coordinator. He did too many zones. I think they're not going to be doing that anymore.
All right.
The first 3 games they were blitzing, and you saw the results. And then against the Cowboys, they played zone and backed off, and that obviously didn't work.
So tell everybody again, so they heard it properly, your view on what the Packers will do the rest of the season, even after the Dallas.
I think they might lose maybe 1, maybe 2 more games. They're going to the Super Bowl this year. That's my pick.
Whoa. 1, maybe 2 more games.
That's it.
Now you just hold on. You're just kind of jumping more and more. Like, you could make the Super Bowl and lose more than 1 or 2 games. But you are down.
No. I'm saying 1 or 2. Right. 1 or 2 additional games is what I was saying.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm counting on they could make the Super Bowl, but they're going to lose more than 2 additional games. But you could nail it. Mike, thanks for playing. Thanks for your input. Right. Jason Wilde is next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Northbound 43, right about at Fond du Lac Avenue. Looks like the left lane is blocked with some debris. So watch out for those delays heading out of the Marquette up past that point. Delays kind of continue all the way up past North Avenue anyway. On the southbound side, slowing down just south of Capitol Drive down through the Marquette to the KK River. Westbound 94, you're backing up out of the 17th Street area all the way to Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes through the zoo all the way to the county line. Traffic is brought to you by Comfort Awnings. Extend your outdoor space with a retractable awning or screen like I did with my friends at Comfort Awnings. Custom designed to fit your home. Get your free estimate at comfortawnings.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 58 at the lake, 55 inland. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 75 at the lake, 82 inland. Weather's brought to you by Dick & Shroff Heating and Cooling, now hiring HVAC installers and service technicians. Join a winning, positive team culture that sets them apart. Apply today at dickandshroff.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Did you know Love was born November 2nd? Did you know Love was raised in Bakersfield, California? Did you know Love played college football at Utah State? Are you looking for lots of Love touchdowns the rest of this football season? Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where we love being your one-stop shop for everything alcohol-related. With our selection of over 15,000 varieties of beer, wine, liquor, and mixers, all at the lowest prices in town, Discount Liquor has all your tailgating needs covered. We are your football party beverage headquarters. Discount Liquor, 2 locations, Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Maine.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings. Discount Liquor.
See all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Kyle Bruston Nortman.
This is Matt LaFleur after the game. If I knew it was going to end like that, we would have gone faster.
That dude,
KBN.
that drove me crazy. Listen, anybody, make sure y'all listen to his presser at the end of the game, and you will walk away saying, this is a man that does not know who the heck he is.
Kyle Bruston Nortman. Afternoons from 2 to 5 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Jim Frucci, Managing Partner and PGA Professional at Morningstar Golfers Club, and I'd like to personally invite you to play your next round of golf at Morningstar. Lush green fairways, velvet smooth greens, magnificent vistas from high above our championship golf course. Morningstar was created with the serious golfer in mind, and it continues to be the public course by which all other area public courses are measured. Book your tee time today and reserve a spot on our membership wait list. Come out and see what all of Southeast Wisconsin's been talking about. Hey, you played the rest. Now play the best.
Hungry for something fresh and delicious? Get your favorites from Cousin Subs delivered straight to your door. From our freshly baked bread and hand-sliced meats and cheeses to our famous sides, crispy golden fries, Wisconsin cheese curds, or creamy mac and cheese. Every meal made to order and ready to enjoy. Ordering is quick and easy online or through the Cousins app, whether it's a solo lunch, family dinner, or a spread for the whole crew. Let us bring it straight to you, fast and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Homer for Window Nation. It's October, and if you've got old windows, that means you're back to dealing with chilly air seeping into your home. Eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with Window Nation in Milwaukee. This month, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free, plus pay nothing for 2 years. With the holidays coming up, it's a big deal, and they can do it so quickly. Don't miss out on free windows and 0 payments for 2 years with Window Nation, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Visit windownation.com before October 31st to get started.
This is the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. It's time for Jason Wilde on the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
Everybody should get information about the Green Bay Packers from Jason Wilde every day of the year. You go to the app, ESPN Wisconsin, and then you can just listen to all the things he says about the Packers. Good evening, Jason.
Good evening, Stephen. How are you?
I am fine, with many, many days now to talk about the Green Bay Packers without a game to address, which makes me wonder, what does Jason Wilde want to do with this time to analyze different things, given the Packers do not play this weekend and don't play again until a week from Sunday against a very bad Cincinnati Bengals team?
Yeah, I mean, the Bengals are bad now that they don't have their quarterback, but I'm not sure they are a very bad team. They weren't very good defensively, that's for sure, or offensively against the Broncos. Yeah, I'm not. You know, I've got a few stories that I'm working on and some other fun stuff that I'm doing, but not like. I think it's important that everybody recharges their batteries, even me. So I'm not breaking down copious amounts of film while the players are all off. I'm working more than they are. But look, I think there's a couple of things that are overlooked from Sunday because of the way things turned out, right? And one of them is they actually ran the ball somewhat effectively, which they had struggled to do. And that is such an important piece of what they do, that the fact that happened is at least mildly encouraging. I don't think they have the problem solved. I don't think the Cowboys are necessarily, a top flight run defense that you suddenly feel really good about where they're at, but they needed to get something going there, and they did. And now we'll see if they can carry that over. Matt LaFleur said that that they've had discussions about whether to open up the practice window for Christian Watson. Now, that doesn't mean that they will when they get back from the bye, but the fact that they're having the conversations is a good sign that he's approaching, at least, being able to play. So that's encouraging, right? So, I think there's...
What is your what is your thought about that?
I think they'll probably wait another week. But maybe not. Maybe he's, again, I haven't talked to Christian. He's been in the locker room. I've exchanged hellos, but that's been the extent of our conversation. So I don't know if he's closer than I originally thought, but he's definitely ahead of schedule. So even if they're not going to open the window right away when they get back on Monday, they're at least reasonably close to doing so, which again is good news. So, we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out, but those are two things that are kind of intriguing to me. I think, the other thing, and I'm not going to, I'm not here to crush these guys, but, one of the things that's so great about having Micah Parsons, and one of the things that Matt LaFleur and Jeff Hafley were so excited about with him, is how he makes everyone around him better and makes everyone around him more productive. And so when we do talk to the guys again, one of the things I do want to kind of, I don't want to say get to the bottom of, like the Scooby-Doo gang, but what happened with Rashawn Gary? Because Rashawn Gary was the poster child for taking advantage of Micah Parsons' presence, right? I mean, he had 4.5 sacks in the first 3 games alone. And then he was on a milk carton largely. I mean, look, he played the run well. I don't want to take away from him on that.
What would be your analysis? What do you think? What do you think happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. I don't know if he had some one-on-one opportunities. Now, part of it, I would say, after rewatching some of it, I thought Dak Prescott did a really good job getting the ball out of his hand. That was definitely the reason why Micah Parsons wasn't an even bigger factor than he could have been. They did. He's familiar with Micah's game, and he was smart enough to get the ball out before Micah could crush him. So that's a huge thing, right? So that's great that they were able to do that. For the Cowboys, obviously. For the Packers, not so much. But that probably affected, whether he and Lucas Van Ness were productive, right? Because if the quarterback gets the ball out of his hands to avoid Micah Parsons, stands to reason he's also avoiding the other guys that are rushing him. So that's part of it. But again,
I wanted to ask you about, because I want you to comment on Cooper, because he was horrible. Now, is it fair to say he just missed a ton of tackles? But
he wasn't the only one. But yeah, I mean, he did miss tackles, and that's one of the things that, again, it's what Jeff Hafley talks to us about all the time. Like, that is such a colossal component of what they do. And I understand everyone wants to make tackles; they don't want to miss tackles. But it's also part of the equation on, and I'd be curious if he would say that they were guilty of this. Like we talked on Thursday of last week with Hafley about, well, where are the takeaways? Right? You guys are emphasizing them left and right.
Another great question.
And you're not getting any of them. And one of the things he said that they have to guard against is chasing them, which look, interceptions, we know what that looks like, right? You jump
around. I don't know what that means.
I'm going
chasing.
Yeah. So if in an interception case, right, that's you jump a route you shouldn't because you're trying to get the takeaway and you get cooked. But from a fumble perspective, he actually did explain it, which was essentially, look, the first guy there as a tackler, it's not his job to force the fumble. It's his job to secure the tackle, and then because they're so devoted to attacking the football with other guys and rallying to the ball. That's the whole idea, is that you're swarming the ball carrier. Well, part of that is
Look, can I interrupt there? The new guy, the new thing around the league is guys that are whacking at the ball, and it's the first guy that's doing that. That seems to be something different that more players are doing. Am I wrong? Because if the defensive coordinator
I don't think you're wrong.
I think, wait a minute, the game seems to have changed, and if anyway, it's the first player is doing that.
Yeah, I don't.
No, sorry.
I think there are instances where it's certainly the first player, and if you're able to do that, like I'm not talking about the quarterback. I'm talking about guy catches a ball or a guy runs the ball, and the first guy's supposed to wrap him up, and then the next guy comes in punching, right? But you're right. There are certainly instances where guys go for the ball, but on the flip side of it, I bet if you go back and look, there are probably some instances of guys who missed tackles, and maybe even Edgerrin Cooper is one of them, who went for the ball instead of securing the tackle. And that's great if it works. If you knock the ball out, hey, awesome. But if you don't, and the guy breaks a tackle and gains 6 more yards, obviously not so awesome.
Yeah, I'm more than willing to say they'll start to get some, because I don't. It seems like if you're the number one team in the league and giving up points, and you're the fewest, that by nature it seems that kind of a defense is going to be among the leaders with creating turnovers, because creating the turnovers also makes it difficult for the other team to score. And if they're not scoring, you think part of that is, well, you're creating turnovers, so they can't score as many points, and they were not creating turnovers and still not giving up points. So maybe that caught up with them in the Dallas game.
Maybe I would just say that for I think historically during my time covering the team, when a team emphasizes something, they ultimately do get it. Like, it's very rare.
I would agree.
If they're emphasizing ball security, that they're still fumbling the ball a bunch. Like, that doesn't happen. And so what's weird about this is, and I've seen it in practice, like, it's not just them talking about it. Like, they do. They got guys punching at the ball constantly, and they got, what I thought was actually, again, because I'm a worrier by nature, a little dangerous for their guys, was that, like, in practice, they have guys punching at the ball even after the play is clearly over. Like, there was a time during training camp when Tucker Kraft got really pissed. Like, and because then he got charged with a fumble, and, like, the play was clearly finished, and yet they were still taking swings at it, and that clearly ticked him off. And so while I'm not condoning or supporting that behavior, because they need to do what they need to do, and I'm not criticizing it either, but that's just illustrative of how obsessive they are about this, that they're actually letting guys having them keep doing it when play's over. Like, to me, which seems a little bit, dangerous. So, because if a guy's thinking, okay, the play's over, and then you rake him across the arm, who knows what's going to happen. So my point is that I can't believe that they have not been able to they have not generated a fumble. Like, to me, interceptions, there's a lot of variables there. Fumbles, you get a guy who's carrying the ball a little bit loosely, you knock it out. And for as hard as they've worked at it, the fact that it hasn't happened is crazy to me.
I would agree. I would expect it to even out, right?
You would think so. But again, we're 4 games in now. You would have thought there'd at least be one, just by a fluke and just by the amount of emphasis they put on it.
We have not addressed the offensive line. Any update? I guess I think every week it's going to start with Zach Tom and wondering about the oblique.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, I'm not a doctor, but he tore the oblique muscle. Like, to me, that sounds like something that doesn't just heal right away. Now, is that a week? Is that 2 weeks? Is it how many more games does he have to miss? I don't know, but if I were to guess, and it is purely just an educated guess, I don't think he's going to play against Cincinnati. Like, okay. I would think that they would play the high side of caution with him, just because they don't want to rerun, and they certainly don't want a setback.
Yeah, I would. This has been expressed by others, and I would tend to agree that I think, given the input of gambling on NFL games, I think the league has to change its policy, and they have to require that all teams be honest about their players and injuries. Because if you're
I'm surprised that hasn't happened already. I'm totally with you on that. Like, I'm surprised that they haven't gone to a much more stringent. Like, you have to give actual details of the injury. And look, again, they have chosen, for lack of a better term, to get in bed with the gambling realm because the money is too good to pass up, and I totally understand that. I get it, but then that should come with it. Like, you should have, like, I was looking at this. I don't know if it was Lamar Jackson that the Ravens said this about, or it was some team where they said he has a grade 2 hamstring strain, and we anticipate him being sidelined 2 to 3 weeks. I don't think it was Jackson. It was somebody else, and it was probably some other team. But I was like, wow, we're giving out grades. The graded severity of an injury. I kind of like this. Mike Holmgren, when I first started, used to do that. And then, the Belichickization of the league, where you try to withhold as much information as possible because it could benefit you, which I understood. I hated it, but I understood. But again, I totally agree that with the amount of money that is being wagered on these games and how that information is germane to that, I'm surprised that they have not required far more specifics, and for players essentially to get a cut of the gambling income, say, hey, you're in order to get a portion of this, you're going to have to waive your a portion of your HIPAA rights to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we're going to give out information about your knee, whether you like it or not. So I'm surprised that slippery slope has not already kind of started rolling, but maybe this has kind of outpaced the league being on top of it. I'm not sure.
What is your belief on just how good Devontae Wyatt is?
I don't think they gave up 5 touchdowns in 6 possessions simply because he went out of the game. I don't think he's that good. But I think he's played well in the first 4 games. I think he's like a lot of big guys, right? That there's an inconsistency there. It's another one of the things that makes Micah Parsons, like, I'm not here to be his fan club president or cheerleader, but it doesn't look to me like the dude takes a lot of plays off. Like, it feels to me like he's going 1,000 miles an hour all the time. And while that may not, make him great as a run defender, it just makes him so incredibly disruptive. I know McCarthy said on McAfee when he was on last week or 2 weeks ago that he's the most disruptive player he's ever coached. And remember, like, Mike McCarthy's had some damn good defensive players. Like, he had Charles Woodson. He had Julius Peppers for a period. He obviously had Clay Matthews. So, he's had disruptive players. And for him to say that about Parsons, tells you just how his motor always kind of runs at the highest RPM level.
And lastly, and I'm sure this will be addressed before they play again, but what are the numbers? Does it seem to you like they're not playing him as much as he should play? They're going to play him more. What's the percentage plays, the Micah Parsons, how much he's being used, and what's going to happen for going forward the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think he played 88% of the snaps on Sunday night, I think I saw. And that's what I expect.
Then he's already there. Okay.
Yeah.
They're already there. That had nothing to do with the outcome in terms of...
Right. And by comparison, I think Rashawn Gary played 63%. And look, they want to rotate guys so they're all fresh. But It is worth noting that Jeff Hafley, when we talked to him last Thursday, made the comment that Rashawn Gary is playing more because he's in better shape, which I thought that was a surprising remark, because that would indicate that last season he wasn't in as good a shape as he needed to be to play more. So that was that. And I didn't get any, again, I don't know how to compare his fitness to what they want his fitness to be. But, the guy had 7.5 sacks last year, and he wasn't the impact player that they needed him to be before they had Micah Parsons. So if you're a Packers fan, your hope is that Micah Parsons and even further motivation on his behalf leads to Rashawn Gary being a field-tilting player in addition to the field-tilting that Micah Parsons is doing.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, Homer, take care. Be good.
Jason Willie, all Packers all the time. Again, you go to ESPN Wisconsin app and listen to everything he has to say. You want to be as much as possible on top of everything with the Packers. It starts with being aware and listening to everything that Jason Wilde says. Tim Van Vorn is not next. He's soon. I am next.
The Homer Hour is back after this on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Southbound 41, going to be a heavy ride coming in from Bradley Road all the way to Good Hope Road, and then from just south of Appleton Avenue down to about Capitol Drive. Northbound slow from Mayfair up past Burleigh. Still seeing delays through the Zoo Interchange southbound all the way down to the Hale Interchange, so give yourself some extra time there. Eastbound 94, you got pockets of heavy traffic between 164 and Barker Road. You're back on the brakes about 84th Street all the way through the stadium to 35th. The westbound side's going to be heavy from about 20th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, and then again from the Zoo Interchange all the way to the county line. Traffic is brought to you by Morningstar Golfers Club. Tee it up at Morningstar Golfers Club. Championship greens, breathtaking views, and a golf experience you won't forget. Book your tee time today at golfthestar.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 58 at the lakefront, 55 inland. And tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 75 at the lake, 82 inland. This ESPN Wisconsin weather update is brought to you by Avondale Roofing. Trusted since 1988 to keep you and your roof covered, no matter the weather, rain or shine. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
I've been to my fair share of green and gold games, and the best way to get there is with AccuTrans Group. At Good Karma Brands and ESPN Milwaukee, we use AccuTrans Group to get our partners to and from Green Bay, and it's always first class. From stadiums to concerts and tailgates, your game day fun starts the moment you step on board. Sit back, relax, and let their professional chauffeurs handle the traffic while you enjoy the ride. AccuTrans Group is Milwaukee's premier ground transportation, available 24/7 with sedans, SUVs, limos, vans, and buses. Book today at AccuTransGroup.com.
Make the best seat in the house yours. Carbless delivers the handcrafted cocktail experience right to your living room. Bold flavor, no carbs, no sugar, just 100 calories, and all the taste with none of the extra baggage. From kickoff to the final play, Carbless is your game day go-to. Hosting friends, watching with family, or celebrating every big drive, Carbless keeps the good times pouring. So when the game's on the line, make the winning call. Skip the mixing, grab the bliss, and make every seat the best seat in the house. Find Carbless near you at drinkcarbless.com.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Our office computers were from like 2012.
What? They had computers then?
Yeah, I don't know much about new tech.
Apparently.
So I went to Staples and saved big on an AI-powered HP laptop and HP OfficeJet Pro printer, which also came with 3 months of free instant ink.
And we're back in this century. During Staples HP Tech Event, save up to 35% on HP printers and up to 40% on AI-powered HP PCs.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. Into 11/1 select models only.
You're on the list for Macy's Fall VIP Sale. That means you're invited to save big on this season's top designer looks at prices you'll love. Like an extra 30% off Calvin Klein, Steve Madden, Hugo Boss, and more. Plus, get 15% off beauty and fragrance from Estee Lauder, Lancome, and so many others. This only happens a few times a year. Don't miss the Fall VIP Sale. Today, only at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Wisconsin Badgers men's basketball is heading to Milwaukee this December when they play in the Milwaukee Hoops Showdown on Friday, December 19th at Pfizer Forum. The Badgers will tangle with Villanova at 7 p.m. with UW-Milwaukee and South Dakota State starting the action at 4 p.m. 2 marquee men's basketball games, 1 exciting event at Pfizer Forum. Make plans and get your tickets now at PfizerForum.com/showdown. The Badgers headline the action on Friday, December 19th, and you don't want to miss it. Tickets are now available at PfizerForum.com/showdown.
What's better than cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand? Cheering for the Packers with an ice-cold beer in your hand that you got for 10% off. And when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank, you get even more. Like 10% off food and 10% off drinks on game day. Like that ice-cold beer in your hand. Plus 15% off Pro Shop gear. Only with Packers checking. Associated Bank. Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Thanks to Jason Willie, Tim Van Born coming up. Window Nation. Starting to talk about them. Window Nation. 90% customer satisfaction. 90%. And they can install in 1 day depending on the size of the job. That quickly. Getting to be that time of year where if you're thinking about, Window Nation, 90% customer satisfaction. They can install in 1 day, depending on the size of the job. If it's a little bit bigger, I'm thinking then in 2 days. Incredibly quick. October is here, and if you've got old windows, that means you're back to dealing with chilly air seeping into your home. Did I tell you? They can install maybe in 1 day. Eliminate the annoying problems that you have. And again, this month, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. Plus, pay nothing for 2 years. Okay, again, don't miss out on the free windows and 0 payments. Window Nation, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Visit windownations.com before October 31st to get started. 90% customer satisfaction. They could get it done in 1 day. Window Nation. Tim Van Born coming up in a little bit. All I know regarding the Green Bay Packers, by the way, of note, is anything that affects the Milwaukee Brewers. The Padres defeated the Cubs. What was it, Pebble? 3-0 today? So they're now 1 game each. They'll have the deciding game tomorrow. And who do I care they play? Whichever team is weaker. I strongly and have always supported having the easiest way possible. If you can tell me or convince me that between the Padres and the Cubs, the worst team is the Cubs, and play the Cubs. Or if the worst, whatever makes it easiest for the Milwaukee Brewers is what people should hope for. There are some additional issues regarding the Chicago Cubs, Craig Counsell, or any other parts in the rivalry that exists, but I don't care. I just want them to win a series, and move on in the best of 5. Also, the Cleveland Indians defeated the Detroit Tigers, so that series is 1-1. They'll have a Game 3 as well. The Yankees and the Red Sox are playing right now. What do you have, Pebble? It's
Boston was down 2-0 to the Yankees in the 3rd inning.
Okay. They could have a Game 3 there. And then the Reds and the Dodgers will play later on. The Brewers will play Saturday. It seemed the discussion was that it could very easily be the early game at noon, something like that.
Yeah, it depends.
But I don't think
if the Yankees advance and the Brewers would play at noon, but if the Red Sox advance, and they would play at 8:00 at night.
Oh, whoa, okay. But we know the game's going to be Saturday, and Game 2 will be Monday.
Oh, now it's 2-2. Boston and the Yankees going to the bottom of the 3rd.
All right. So, but again, either way, so the times are still unknown. And Game 1 Saturday and Game 2 is on Monday. The Brewers against either the Padres or the Cubs, whoever wins the game tomorrow. Tim Van Born, Fox 6 Sports, next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
This year, it just feels different.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Keep it to WTMJ as the Brewers fight their way to a pennant throughout the run of the playoffs. Brewers playoff coverage is presented by the Narrow Spine Center of Wisconsin and by Annex Wealth Management, Boucher Automotive, and Delta Dental. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Looking for green and gold tickets? Ticket King is your go-to for Green Bay football tickets. With offices in Milwaukee and Green Bay, Ticket King is your local and most trusted source to see the green and gold. Plan ahead and get your seats this season at theticketking.com. The next home game is Sunday, October 12th against Cincinnati, with the first noon game on November 2nd when Carolina visits Green Bay. Find your seats at theticketking.com or call 414-273-6007. Theticketking.com. It's not sold out until the King is sold out.
Want your brand to turn heads and win hearts?
Captivate Exhibits can bring your brand to life by transforming lobbies, creating history walls, and beautifying facilities.
For over 32 years, Captivate has been the MVP of trade show exhibits and workplace design and fabrication. Let Captivate craft immersive branded environments that tell your story boldly, beautifully, and with purpose at events and around the office.
Score big by making your next event or your own space unforgettable. Create something legendary by getting started today at CaptivateExhibits.com.
The dance of sunlight on water.
Shimmering, sparkling, beautiful, hypnotic.
Houses that overlook a gorgeous body of water are the most highly desired houses in the world.
The Bellamare collection of fine jewelry features classic white diamonds, flanked and surrounded by rare and exotic blue diamonds.
Bellamare means beautiful water.
Bellamare, sunlight on water, glimmering and twinkling.
The dance is enticing.
The look is spectacular.
The impact is exciting.
Blue and white diamonds created in the heart of Mother Nature.
Will dance and sing on the body of a glittering, sparkling woman.
Bellamare. This blue and white beauty of sunlight on water
should be worn on the fingers,
the wrist,
the neck, and the ears
of the woman you love.
The Bellamare collection is available only at Kessler's.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Homer for Window Nation. It's October, and if you've got old windows, that means you're back to dealing with chilly air seeping into your home. Eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with Window Nation in Milwaukee. This month, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free, plus pay nothing for 2 years. With the holidays coming up, it's a big deal, and they can do it so quickly. Don't miss out on free windows and 0 payments for 2 years with Window Nation, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Visit windownation.com before October 31st to get started.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here. Football season is here, and I've got to tell you, Prize Picks has made every game more fun for me. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made simple. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player projections, like Josh Allen's passing yards or Saquon Barkley finding the end zone, and you're in the game. I love how quick and easy it is. I can set a lineup in less than a minute, and I even get the option to stack a single player across different stats. Want to play it safe? Go with Flex Play. Want the big payout? Try Power Play. And no matter how you play, Prize Picks makes it fun all season long. Withdrawals are fast and secure with Apple Pay, Venmo, and more. And that's why millions of fans, including myself, are already on America's #1 fantasy sports app. So download the Prize Picks app today. Use code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI for $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 play. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Rain Man is brought to you by Cousin Subs. Crispy chicken tenders are now available at Cousin Subs. Order today in store at cousinsubs.com or with the Cousins app. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Tim Van Voren is brought to you by The Ticket King, your local and most trusted source for Green Bay football tickets. Visit theticketking.com or call 414-273-6007. Welcome back to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. The 3 most important letters in sports. Even better than those.
TVV.
It's Fox 6 Sports Director Tim Van Voren on the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN. Tim Van Voren is brought to you by The Ticket King, your local and most trusted source for Green Bay football tickets. Visit theticketking.com or call 414-273-6007.
Yes, Tim Van Voren brought to you by the Ticket King. I may not ask a question. He can fill the entire time of about 8 minutes with whatever he wants to say regarding the Green Bay Packers and their performance against the Dallas Cowboys. 3-time Wisconsin Sportscaster of the Year. TVV, good evening.
Homer, hi. Nice to be on with you.
So, explain. Everybody's asking you the same question they've asked me. It's a different one. What the hell happened? What the hell is going on out there in honor of Vince Lombardi?
First of all, I fully expect that we will be speaking differently about the Green Bay Packers in December. All right? I want that on the record to start with.
Whoa. Well, what do you mean by that? Well, wait. What do you mean by that?
That they'll get this regrouped and that they'll beat a couple
that
of these bad teams coming up.
They'll be better.
I'm not going as far as fine, but they're gonna change the narrative. It's all going to be a little different in December. I want that established. Okay, having established that,
better in December.
Yeah, well, a different story in December. My point is, let's not go. Let's not look at these last 2 weeks, talk about them, say what I'm going to say about them, and then say that defines the season. It doesn't. They're going to be in a different position by December. That's part of the
You believe they could still make the NFC Championship game? They could still make the Super Bowl?
I guess they could. I guess they could. But having established that I think things will be different, Homer, in December, by December, I would say, how do you really even hold your head up high after these last two games by the Green Bay Packers? They were coming off a mini bye. If I hear one more time about how a mini bye is going to recharge us and allow us to get our act together, they had a mini bye after the Commanders game, Homer. And then they went to Cleveland and absolutely, just soiled everything. And then followed that with,
everything.
And then had the performance they had in Dallas. The sloppiness, the lack of attention to detail, the lack of execution. It certainly wasn't every player. In Cleveland, you can commend the defense. In Dallas, you can commend Jordan Love for a lot of things, not everything, obviously, and much of what the offense did. But from an overall team standpoint, when you just asked me the question, could they still go to the NFC Championship game? Sure they could. They have plenty of talent. But these two games were dreadful, embarrassing, humiliating, and perilously close to career-defining legacy if that clock hits zero for Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur.
Yeah. Does everybody appreciate how lucky everyone is? Because that could have gone to zero. On the road, that wouldn't have been that surprising to anyone, right? That they just let it run a little more. But anyway, it didn't happen.
No, Homer, it wouldn't have been a surprise, but could you just imagine a story where you win the coin flip in overtime and you don't even get a field goal attempt off? It was perilously close to that. That would be that's Dan Orlovsky stepping out of the back of the end zone. That's the only play anyone ever remembers about Dan Orlovsky. Jordan Love did a ton right in that game. Matt LaFleur didn't have his best game, but those two guys would have so much to live down. This way, it's kind of like a pass. It's a tie, a big deal. Who cares? Is that good?
Other than, can you do me a favor?
Nobody knows.
Yeah, I just need you to get Jordan Love by the side. And just go, just help me out here. What were you thinking? And I don't mean to be rude, you played quarterback for how many years? You're always more than anything aware of how much time is left on the clock. And it really doesn't matter whatever else is going on. That's always number one. Am I presenting the question properly, or is that an appropriate thing to ask him? Because that's the hard part for me to get past. That's like knowing you need your helmet on or that you need to tie your shoes. I mean, maybe I'm too harsh. Tell me, put it in the proper perspective. That's where you're so perfect. By the way, you seem a little on edge about the Packers more than I can remember in a long time. I don't know if on edge is right.
I just think those are two dreadful games, Homer. I mean,
yeah.
Again, I wanted to establish that I don't think that defines this team or this season. Again, they're going to beat Cincinnati easily. Yeah. They'll probably, then they win the next two road games. And then, hey, everything's back and we're fighting. And that's
not
all
for
well
you.
And good.
Not for you.
I mean, it may be, Homer. It may be, the season's a long season. That's why I want to establish the season's a long season. These two games are just an absolute embarrassment to all, to the Packers.
Am I too tough on Jordan Love to present you asking such a question?
I don't know that you're too tough. I mean, you're watching the game. Is that Matt LaFleur's responsibility? Is that Jordan Love's responsibility? Is that Matt LaFleur talking to Jordan Love? Where's the confusion come from? I don't know.
I can tell you that, and now I can tell you that because LaFleur said he told them we're going to throw out of bounds or the end zone, right?
Right.
I mean, he did say he told him that. Okay. What he did not tell him was make sure the clock hasn't gone to zero. I don't think he felt that was necessary based on the way he analyzed the situation. Was it yesterday when he talked? And he doesn't want to say that about his quarterback. He said something, and he said everybody at the very end after he hadn't mentioned everybody the whole time. That to me, and he's not willing, and I think that's he's not willing to present it that way to the general public because, like, I didn't think I had to mention that, but that seems to me to be.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Homer, on why you wouldn't hang a player out to dry, and I agree with you that LaFleur, I thought took the right approach yesterday in explaining it, and he did try to explain it too. He didn't just blow off that it was no big deal. So I commend LaFleur on that as well. I look at the facial response from LaFleur when Love was coming off the field at 1 second. He wasn't jumping in his face like, what are you doing? He seemed confused. It's just like they didn't. I don't know. It was a weird game, Homer. It certainly was a weird night. I mean, it was, you're going along, and I'll tell you, in that stadium, the whole thing felt weird. Brandon McManus made a tough as nails 53-yard field goal. No one's going to talk about that. That was a money field goal to make that one. It was just a weird night. But, you see snippets of video. You're going to remember situations like the end of that game. I don't know where the blame goes, but I'm telling you and anybody, it wasn't good, but it would have been so much worse if it went to zero. And it almost did. It should have.
Dreadful would not be the word. We don't know what the word would be. TVV, thanks. We have other things to discuss. We'll get another week to do it before they play again. Thanks.
See you, Homer.
Window Nation, 90% customer satisfaction. It doesn't matter what I say as much as what people who've worked with Window Nation. And they get the job done like in a day so quickly. And right now, you buy 2, you get 2 free. You pay nothing for 2 years. They are a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Window Nation. WindowNation.com before October 31st. All the things. People who've worked with them, what do they say? And they can get it done so quickly. You got to call. Is Homer right about that? That you can do it that quickly? That is Window Nation. WindowNation.com before October 31st. Try to help you out. Going to Potawatomi. Some good information coming your way. Next.
Likes to laugh, likes to have fun, and I look for sex. She's my only one, and she's sure.
Well, delays westbound 94 starting around 20th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes west of Highway 100 to about Elm Grove Road. Eastbound